This video is about solving systems of equations, and these systems of equations are quadratic, which is y equals x squared, so they make u's or parabolas, and lines, y equals x. So these are the kind of graphs that we're going to solve these systems. Okay, this is the problem that I'm going to solve for you. I'm going to do it with algebra. Well, I'll solve it graphically first. So first I'd graph the line. I'd go up 1 to my y-intercept. This is the line. Up 1 to my y-intercept, and then the slope is -1. So I go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. Or up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So this is your line, something like this. Okay, awesome. Okay, so first I graphed the line, and then I graphed the parabola. This is kind of a hard parabola, so I went and I did negative b over 2a. This is negative b over 2a right here to get the vertex, because I think that's a really valuable point. So the valuable point was -1/2, and then I plugged -1/2 into the equation, and it gave me -2 1/4, which in decimals is easier to graph, so -2.25. So that was the vertex. I also know by looking at this that the y-intercept is -2. So when you go back to your graph, -2, like right here, is your y-intercept. So that helped me graph it. And then I got the vertex. And then you can just plug in some other points and figure out how to graph this graph. All right. So what we're looking for with systems of equations is we're looking for places where the graphs cross. Those are solutions. So these are the solutions. If you graph these graphs, either by hand like I did or on a calculator, this is where the graphs cross. At -3, 4, which is right here, and 1, 0, which is right here. Those are the solutions to the graph, those two places. Okay, now I'm going to show you algebraically how to solve the algebra behind this picture. Okay, this is how you solve using the algebra. I solve by substitution. So, in place of, because all this stuff is equal to y, I can just put all that stuff in place of y. So I did it. I put it in place of it right here. And then I set it equal. Then I did the algebra. I subtracted 1, I added x. My suggestion to you is to always leave x squared positive if you can. This will help make factoring easy. Then you factor this polynomial. You get it in standard form. So standard form is having a 0 and then a bunch of stuff on the other side. Get it in standard form, factor it. Set factors equal to 0. So I did this by going x plus 3 equals 0, and then I solve. So this is how I got the -3. Same way I get, if your factor is -1, then your x-intercept, or your x value, is equal to 1. Because you set it equal to 0 and solve. Okay, so I get these x values, and then to get the y values, 4 and 0, I just plug them in. So I go to the either equation will work, but I go -3 plus 1. That gives me +3 plus 1 gives me 4. Boop. And then I plug in a -1 plus 1, and that gives me 0. See these? This is how you solve it algebraically, or with algebra. And this is how I solved it with a graph, using a graph. See, same answers, -3, 4, 1, 0. Here's my algebra, -3, 4, 1, 0. They should have the same answers. All right, solving systems of equation, quadratics and lines. That's it.